It's often I say this, but let's thank you all for the clap. Okay, just appreciate what everyone's already said. Thanks all for coming. I think you all look brilliant. I think you all agree. Mike and Terry both look fantastic today. Could you do another quick toast again to Mike and Terry?
Right, and for those of you who don't know us, I'm George, this is Scott, and Mike for some reason decided that he couldn't decide to just have one best man. Being the showbiz warrior that he is, he decided to have two best men. Most of you will know that he likes to do things over the top a little bit, and we've got a few stories that are going to come in the next few minutes that are probably going to back that theory back up. Obviously, we've known Mike for a long time, and we thought for those of you who don't know him so well, we'd give you a little bit of an insight into who this man is sat right here. For those of you who do know him really well, now's the time to sit back, relax, and listen to a few of the ridiculous things that this man here has done over the last few months. I do have to say, you've looked nice and cool all day long, though, man.
We've got the next 10 minutes, man. It's making it quite difficult for you, alright? We're going to stand with them for a long, long time. Kids were about 10, 11 years old, somewhere around there. I think they all started going probably south when we got to the 18 stage, or something like that, when they started going out. And so that age, I was 18 and we went to Cabos. I think there was 20 of us who had to end, most of you are probably still in the room, actually. Just about. And I'll always remember one great time we had in Cabos, which was we hit a really good bar, and it was on the beach. And Mike's probably one of the most competitive people I've ever met. Never already, I think, what's coming here. But it was at this beach bar, and the barman was there, like I said, Mike, being the competitive guy that he is, the barman offered Mike a deal of a lifetime. We're on this bar, probably had about 200-300 people in it at the time. The barman said to him, I'll tell you what, mate, if you take off all your clothes, fully naked, run to the beach, which was loaded with people, get in the seat, get all the way back, I will give you any 2 free drinks that you want. Bear in mind we've been out for a few hours at this point, so Mike, without hesitation, down to his birthday suit, started carrying shorts, knocking people away on the beach, didn't care, he got to the sea and he got in there. I can't remember just how the sea sort of temperature at the time. In August. Anyway, Mike hits the sea, everyone's cheering, start coming back up the beach fast as he can. Gets there, everyone's clapping, everyone's giving him big claps. Mike as well strolling thinking, yeah, everyone's here, everyone's proud about my commitment to get a free drink. Turns out the laughter was actually because we were drinking at a free bar. But he didn't get his free drinks, so.
So to carry on this story, actually in exactly the same night, Mike's obviously realised that the barman's done him over here, and people start to talk about, oh, there's that naked kid again. So Mike, obviously he's had a couple of drinks by this one, at least 2. Mike's thinking, how can I redeem myself? How can I make this situation look even better on me? Now by this point, the bar attended to a foam party, so they all formed up and whatever. Mike split the crowd out the way and was like, everyone watch this! Mike's dived head first, Klinsman style, into the foam, obviously thinking it's going to take his way. The fun didn't take his weight. What did take his weight was the AstroTurf. Mike proceeded to end the night with 2 massive scabs on his hands, which, as you can imagine, after 9 days in Cavos, Mike's gone a lovely golden carrot colour. 2 big scabs decided to fall off, and he ended the holiday with 2 lovely white birthdays. It is a bit of a wonder how we didn't do really well with the ladies on that tour.
Right, we'll say for Mike, there's always, after growing up with Mike from being kids, we know Pete and Benj. We sort of grew up with them as well, if you like. And Mike's always looked after his brothers. He's always been there for them. No. And when we was growing up, for some reason Mike's house was always a problem. When we'd go out, we'd all sort of stop at Mike's house after a night out, which is a big thanks to Stephen and Liz for that. You've got some great memories you can share from us. Thank God. I do remember one time, we'd gone out on a Thursday night. I remember before we left Mike's house, Liz's instructions before we went out was like, right, I don't mind you boys going out tonight and coming back, but bear in mind, Benji's at school tomorrow. Benji's school was right opposite Mike's house. So she actually said to us, can you make sure, because we're going to be at work the next day, that you can get out of bed by 12, cross the road, so Benji can then meet you, and bring him home for lunch. Simple instructions, I think Mike did seem to miss the point of the important instruction, which was get up by 12. And as far as I know, I think Benji stood for an hour on the side of the road.
I'm still there.
I think as far as I said, we never talked about that, so sorry, Liz. I did try and get him up. As well.
Now, not only did Mike obviously look after Benj really well, he obviously looked after his other brother Pete very well as well. Now, we used to sometimes get a call round, which was those golden words from Mike saying, my mum and dad have gone away for a few weeks. Which is brilliant. They used to happen quite a lot, I'm sure you probably realise it. I can remember one time Mike really proudly rang us and he was like, I've got a bar in my garage, I turned the garage into a bar. Bearing in mind turning his garage into a bar at the time literally meant putting a dartboard on the wall. At 17 or 18 we thought it was the best thing in the world, so obviously we'd go around and have a few drinks. Now the plan was we was all going to go out on a night, and obviously at the time, you guys being away, I think Pete and some of his mates were around having a few drinks as well. And so we were having a few drinks, we was all getting ready to go out. Pete, being the courteous brother that he was, just popped his head in and he was like, I'm off, Mike, anyway, I'll see you in the morning. Mike put his beard down, turned on and was like, no brother of mine is leaving the house wearing that. And proceeded to chase after Pete, telling him, bearing in mind Mike was wearing a Burberry cap at the time. Decided to chase around Pete around the house saying, you're not going out wearing them clothes, you're not wearing them. Pete, to his credit, told Mike to get off. One of Pete's friends, though, who obviously had a few drinks, was feeling a bit more brave and was like, you can't talk to him like that. To which Mike pulled his Burberry cap down and proceeded to try and throw this poor, scared, terrified boy out the garage, which means us there watching as Mike is chasing his head. Yeah, it's fantastic. Good night, anyway.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously Mike is probably the oldest one of our years, out of all our friends he was the oldest, and he was the first one out of all of us to pass his driving test.
Oh no!
Yeah, it was. And he got handed down the steed, which I think had been in the family for a long time, isn't it? He is. I think he's been there for about 30 years, something like that, so obviously 17 guys at school we all thought was the coolest people of all time. Driving there, I remember one day we drove into Wolverhampton school and it got snowed in quite badly. So we waited with Mike for a bit until the road sort of cleared. School finished, and we all jumped in the car. He was driving out, and one little lad obviously walking by thought it'd be hilarious to throw a snowball at Mike's car. And Mike again being a denim top wearing bedroom cap guy. Well, since finest, I believe it was. Decided to get out and let this kid have it. So he got out of the car. I think his words was, if any of you dare throw a snowball at my car again, I'll kill you. Bear in mind, 300 kids. Took about 4 hours to dig his car out. Didn't actually get back any quicker, did we? We didn't car from that day, I don't think.
That's the thing, isn't it? What we must always say about Mike, right, what we must actually always say about Mike, though, he has always been there for his friends. Me, for example, when Mike did such a brilliant job of helping me sort out my stag do. Not only did he take it upon himself to book the amazing 5-star hotel at the stag do. Anyone saw the outside on? Not only did he book the hotel, he actually took it upon himself to realise that no matter how drunk I got, Mike would always be the most drunk. So, no matter what bad was going to happen, it wouldn't happen to me. He took one for the team. He made sure that it did happen to him. For an example of, so that it wasn't me who had to have his toothbrush messed with, not by me or him, by the way, like me messed with. I don't know if you know that. Mike took it upon himself to be the one to have his toothbrush messed with. So that it wouldn't be me who had one of his shoes thrown onto the hotel room, so that I looked like an idiot. Mike took it upon himself to have one of his shoes thrown on the hotel room, and walk about moaning about it with one shoe on. Fantastic. So that it wasn't me that passed out in the hotel bar before we'd gone on the night out. So that lots of random strangers could come and take selfies with me. Mike took that over the team. Barry has got me. I've got a picture. And I think the most caring thing that he did to me on my side, so that it wasn't me that had to pass out in the doorway, get my watch, my phone, my wallet, and my dignity stolen by him. He took it upon himself to take that one for the team as well. So, for that, mate, I'll always respect him.
Obviously, for those of you there, I don't know if the rest of you have seen the pictures on Mike's stag do. He looked gorgeous. He did a great job seeing the ginger spice thing he was wearing. He did pull it off. He did well. The first night when we got back to the room, there was a bit of sort of panic really. We'd been out pretty much all day, and Mike went missing. Not for like half an hour, but like about 6 hours. And luckily it was in Butlin, so it was enclosed. Butlin is a zoo, innit, let's be honest. That's the point where we've been looking for about 10 minutes and sort of give up. We got back to the room and we were getting Ben being quite worried about him as well. 10 minutes again, I think it was. Luckily, again, Mike being the good guy that he was, did actually come back to his room with security guards. But had to explain to us that they found him in not his room, someone else's room, unconscious in the bed. All a good laugh, but the bed he actually fell asleep in was a couple who had gone to Butlin for the weekend. I don't know. Tell you what, if you've gone to Butlin, see honeymoon is there. I'm not sure if the guy who was in the room would agree. I imagine he had something slid into his wife and walked into the room and Jerry Halliwell was asleep. But we decided what was on the Saturday, what we'll do is start getting the day gone on Saturday and we'll play Mr. and Mrs. So what we've done was we basically sent Terry 17 questions and she sent us the answers back. And what we'll do is on the morning, we'd ask Mike these 17 questions And for every question that you got wrong, you have to do a shot. And I think it was from 17 questions, 17 shots here. That was before 10 o'clock. But me and George at the time said there's something we need to get for Mike, obviously, on the day of the wedding, as a present, you know, something to say, well done, congratulations. And we were struggling for ideas, but luckily, Ben and Mr. and Mrs. gave us the best idea. One of the questions that Terry was, out of all the time that you've known Mike, what is the weirdest request ever made in the bedroom? So based on Terry's answer today, Mike, I'd like to be with. Thanks a lot, mate. Never have the salad.
What we do actually need to move on to next, and what we would actually like everybody please to raise a really, really big toast to is the new Mrs. Yardley, everybody. Now, for some reason, which I'm sure you can probably kind of all imagine after what we've said so far, it took Mike a long, long time to introduce Terry to us for some reason. I don't know why that was. Some of us thought she was made up. I don't know why. It turns out Mike might have been a little bit embarrassed about introducing us to all his friends. Can't think why that was. But I'm sure looking at Terry today, you're all thinking the exact same things as what we in Scotland. Number one is that Terry looks absolutely stunning today. Number two is that Mike, you should be very proud. Also, you should be thinking to yourself, how on earth am I punching above my weight? I'm only joking. In all seriousness, no, we're both really proud to be standing here today as Mike's two best men. We've been all over the place, following Hull City, going to uni, going travelling, and we've enjoyed many a beer together. Which, granted, a lot of these times did end up in one or two, or probably one of us, being a little bit fuzzy, maybe passing out, maybe crawling out of a tent to try and find a shady place to quiver in the corner. Did happen quite a lot, but we've been through some really good times together.
Yeah, again, what I just said is it's not just obviously me and George, it's all about our friends. We've known Mike for a long time. I'm sure you'll all agree. He's a great vlog, and we had some great times, but obviously today is not about that. Today is about the time to finally offload him and hand him over to Terry. So for you, Terry, good luck. Thanks for taking the burden. And again, after it's stacked up, I would recommend maybe locking your wardrobe after he's had a drink. Again, the final time, with the toast, the new couple,